Next quarterfinal we have now anime against K-pop. XORATIGERS against ZETA Division, aka
they've got very
former Kabishans on the right side.
They both play Espeon, they both
with
play
our
Italian, which I think is a very
I am Tomato superstar.
I
am Tomato.
For ZETA Division. They have
and they go for their Blastoise again. Or is this Blastoise? But they have so little damage. They have so little damage.
Okay.
I feel like Blaziken's gonna have such a good time here, but who knows? I definitely prefer... I feel like I do prefer XORATIGERS comp by a good amount. The Spin Pump guy plays Pedidance Venusaur as a spare, right? Oh yeah, he's the Pedidance top lane Venusaur guy, yes. Yep. His character pool is interesting, definitely. But yeah, I mean it works for them, so I guess it's fine. Pretty much he played Blastoise and Venusaur, yeah. He's just a Gen 1 enjoyer, what can we say? He likes Gen 1 starter Pokemon. You know?
A lot of slowing going into that magic card.
Understandable.
I actually love this buff mirror matchup happening in the top lane, right? We've got a support going up against the defender, but having access
That's nice giving the Squirt to rip up early game. That's so annoying.
Get that KO on each other.
I assume it's going to be Surging Strikes, right?
Towards that bottom lane, and it looks like that first KO is going to be on that Sobble.
So what's happening? Tomato stuns him? Oh my god. That is why he is a Tomato. No, don't go for this Tomato, please. Oh, okay. He goes back in, he doesn't care. Let's hurry up. Tomato, please. Tomato, can you shit? Bro. And that's why he's Tomato. He just doesn't care, man. He doesn't care. I wish I had defender players like this in solo queue games. No fear, actual frontlining. Every defender I get stays behind me in rank, man.
Alright, so Jong, he is that Gyarados, but he's not looking too happy here with 3 Pokemon on his tail and actually sent straight back to that Pokemon Center. If there's one thing XORATIGERS love to do, they love to power Jong up. Earlier this year during the Asia Champions League, one of the major strategies that XORATIGERS love to do is to give Jong that really early game start. Back then he was playing that basketball, so if you let him just go completely ham in the top lane, he can take over, but as this Gyarados, there's only so much he can do with the rest of his team really in just an awkward position, and with how aggressively ZETA Division are playing this, it doesn't seem like they're finding
I feel like honestly
capitalize on any mistakes.
It's too early this game still. But Japan is just so scary this year. I mean, Japan was also scary last year already, right? But then, like, Uyasumi Makuro had this, like, weird ban on Ton, right? And other stuff happening behind the scenes. And MJK was also pretty good last year. I forgot who they lost against. Did MJK lose to Uyasumi Makuro? Like, last year Japan was already good too. Was Japan scary in the first year? Nah, wait, was Japan scary in the first year? I don't remember the first World Championship that much. I don't think so. I don't remember Japan, like, ever at all. In the first World Championship. I remember... I don't know.
100%, and I mean, taking out XORATIGERS gaming in that early fight makes things a little mixy. However, Registeel is taken out by the Blaziken, so they get at least one of these objectives. Reggie likely right in front of this tier number 2 for Blaziken, taking out the pilots.
They're just pushing the Blaziken, and like every Japanese team gets into the second goal. There we go. They can even like... Oh, yep. Can even get some more points in. They have so much time. I'm even trying to pick up some coins at least. Second goal down on top. Oh, the first World Championship was Mame Serena. Yes, you're right. You're right, T2. No, yeah. The Mame Serena. Play alone the entire game, be 14-15 at Ray, and carry the fight. And Zapdos, I mean. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. How could I forget about Mame Serena in the first World Championship?
comeback experience in a moment like
Mami didn't
that.
make it to this World Championship this time around with this team.
However, they're able to outlast it thanks to that.
Yeah, right, it was T2. But T2 was such a weird team, man. It was such a weird team.
Nobody within range, as well as Zhong's Gyarados Unite move finds nothing, and Rama's able to take that knockout. Kokata does take a pretty big snipe shot, but Wajiro in that latent hitbox will take a bit of damage, but positioned there.
First World Championship, 2 Western teams in Grand Final. Second World Championship, 1 Western team in Grand Final. And third World Championship, possibly 0 Western teams in the Grand Final.
So just to go for the reset, grab the wild Pokemon again, reset your buffs, get ready for this next objective because it's going
Fusion's
to be
our last hope for the West. If we can even count, I mean, we can count South America to the West, right? I don't know. I think so.
Because that big chunk of damage, if you drop someone low enough,
they're teaming up again with us against Asia, right?
For somebody to get jumped.
Exactly. That's going to be Zhong and of course the
Latam are all bros, right?
You want to jump on those low HP targets.
Are they?
Take full advantage of the early poke that Subin's able to put together. But so far, not really finding much. That will be Blaziken pulling back 2 targets. Eldegoss Unite move used extremely preemptively, trying to get a bit of healing. Tomato does have their own Unite move. Espeon picks up 3 in the air, and it's Rom getting to work. Vidopo into the backline. They have found Subin in that tall grass, but they're going to have
Urshifu, man. Urshifu's just back.
Zhong learns what's going on in this fight. It's just going to recall back to base as well as.
But also, like, I mean, I feel like Japanese Urshifu is just better as well when it comes to certain strikes. I don't know how and why, but.
Espeon jumps forward, Psychic Solaire locks everyone in place.
The Blastoise, he's spinning.
For those knockouts. Now, hang on a minute. Has Zeta Division gone a little bit too
far? The snipe!
Maybe not. They're still getting knockouts here. The
he doesn't get him.
The mid-attack animation there for John.
No tomato. Don't take my tomato down.
Again, remember, this is just a defender. He's just level 10. He's not giving those levels away. Rom in the meantime.
Yeah, but last year we had AG. This year you don't even have AG anymore, man.
Using your attacker here. Maybe Zeta Division have stuck around for a bit too long in that central area.
It's better to be a West enjoyer. It's getting rough. And then when China joins as well in 1 or 2 years, oh boy. Oh boy. Just wait until China joins.
Not to mention the attack buff that they are going to have. It does last 90 seconds, so it'll last for the first few moments of the Rayquaza fight as soon as it spawns.
I think China will have a lead over us in like 2 years because they're gonna play on their version earlier until we get their version, right? That's also kind of scary.
I cannot stress as well the fact that you have this.
Well, like I think in 2 years the World Championship will feature the new map, the new game mode, and China will have more time like practicing on it. Maybe.
They have managed to catch out that Blastoise, but Topo though really thinking, does he want to go in there? They do get the pullback, but it's just an Umbreon. And Tomato drops down again. Still 45 seconds on that attack buff. Zeta Division, they need to calm down.
Yeah,
they need to calm down.
Now they got 2 knockouts out of it, so that's a decent amount of experience. The problem is the goal zone defense is going to be incredible from Zeta Division. You're investing in this double defender composition for a reason, and it applies a lot of crowd control, but it's also so difficult to get those KOs in a very quick amount of time.
Clef has been played a bit, but didn't perform well, Clefable. It's just Blissey, Eidegor, Super, Pomfey, Orbish, Umbreon, those are the top supports.
Because they don't have Sabine. Sabine is actually back in their central area trying to finish up getting that experience.
Do they strip Ray here? I mean, I guess they have to, right? Just send it sometimes, you know?
Buff before it expires, and Zeta Division, I'm pretty sure they're keeping tabs on this.
Sometimes you just can't win team fights.
It's an opportunity for them to jump.
All right,
but they're team fighting.
Trapped in the mean look and took a snipe shot, but the Unite move brings them back to about half HP. We have the Dragon Current chasing down the target, but hindrance resistance spin.
Not gonna lie, if you have more than 200 points lead, like behind, and you know the enemy team is better, just maybe send Ray.
Make that even longer. Psychic Solaire trapping them for
they're actually doing quite well right now. They got Blastoise. They said Urshifu Unite and Bliss Assistance, though he's gonna pop off, I feel like. But no, they're going for Ray. No, they're going for Ray. Oh, overheat. Espeon snipes it. Nah. Espeon snipes it.
Teammates on ZORATIGERS instantly knocked out
secure.
in that battle.
All right.
Zeta Division.
First game goes to Zeta Division.
So good at
Next draft, and there is the ZETA division Dragon Knight making its way in. Okay. You have Tomato again on Mamoswine, but they have Mamoswine and Umbreon, so it's gonna be another top path Umbreon from a Japanese team. Yeah, looks like it. Attack rate, Razor Claw, Focus Band. Okay, okay. Very interesting. Eldegoss is actually stacking, and Eldegoss has stacking and Rescue Hood on. Interesting.
Across the board. Again, lane
Sleepy Heroes? It's getting later and later. It's 4 AM 30. But yeah, let's stop looking at the time. It makes me I'm awake right now. It's peak. All good, guys. All good.
For ZORATIGERS gaming, they'll have a momentum response as well. I was curious if Tomato was going to take the swing up into the enemy central area to start things off, but they are just going to remain in lane as long as they can.
I'm fine. I swear I'm fine. Like, what? That's like, guys, come on.
Their effort gauge on this Magikarp and almost a level 4.
But when I seen Umbreon using fake tears, I have to meow too. Like, you know, it's nothing I can do about it. It just happens.
Yeah.
It's like automatic, it's muscle memory.
Is a nightmare for ZORATIGERS, unfortunately. You might have a Sobble that is really good at secure, but
I hear fake tears.
much catch potential in that bottom lane.
Wow.
Although, if this Urshifu comes in, maybe Mule can turn things around, but a couple of hits with that stored power. Yeah, Mule doesn't look too happy down there, but he's going to do his best. Jong, though, still hanging on as that Magikarp should be able to evolve. Thankfully, has not been knocked out as of yet.
I want to see some outrage, guys. Can we have some fun? Like, come on, this is... Who cares about money? Just play some outrage.
Maybe even go back into that central area just to get that final bit of experience, but Vitoppo.
Let's have some fun. It's entertainers a bit here. Who cares? World Championship? Who cares? Oh my god, the Dragonair. They're always so aggressive on the Dragonair.
To take out the support player of ZORATIGERS gaming. A good early push by
Umbreon is not running XP share. Umbreon is running Razor Claw, Focus Band, and Attack Rate.
Yeah, I think it's still early and often they're doing a great job denying experience.
We don't have fun when there's a Trevenant. True.
Have been slowed down on the side of ZORATIGERS. Down bottom, they're still looking at a Drizzile. Jong is just evolved on that Gyarados, so this is not an early evolution at all. And even though they've had Mule running around on this Urshifu, he hasn't had that same level of success that we've had ZETA division have with the Urshifu picks. And I kind of wonder, is it just
Umbreon is level 8 already.
Go for? They haven't got anyone that can really easily assist for a
Umbreon is higher level than the enemy jungler. Quiet. By a lot, actually.
If used optimally, but Mule still,
by a lot. Dragonair also level 8 now. That will not be so far ahead. Oh, they get Eldegoss too. Did they just break top goal here? Yep, they break top goal. Oh man, ZORATIGERS really so far behind the experience.
In that bottom lane, up against just two so far, just the Piloswine and the Espeon. And the fact that they're not getting knocked out, this is a big win because up top, it's free experience for ZETA division. The down bottom though, this Registeel who gets a secure Rom!
Again, Rom gets the last hit.
Away these objectives.
Yeah, Ward not
this is gonna be brutal game. This game is gonna be brutal.
Pull them out of the tall grass by doing so.
Yeah.
Only grabbed one target and unfortunately the wrong one. So ZETA division undisturbed.
This game is going to be brutal.
Another objective in this game. How many times can I say that?
Both objectives.
On cast. Yep.
They've secured both objectives. They didn't even need Vitoppo there. Vitoppo soloed the Regieleki all by himself. And so ZORATIGERS now back to square one, trying to figure out, how am I going to get those levels on my teammates? How are we going to get some knockouts? How are we going to score? Because they've only
How are we going to score? Yeah, how? Exactly.
They have struggled to even reach the goal zone.
I was going to say, how are we going to get a single knockout in this game? I'm not even confident that ZORATIGERS Gaming has been able to put that together at this point. But when you're playing
Why is Japan so cracked? I mean, Japan is just... I'm saying it again. Japan is currently the most competitive region. They have a lot of players playing, and the player base is very competitive, so focused. They have the most viewership on like tournaments. People are in solo queue, also like watch tournaments. Their 5-stack ladders very try hard.
You also have the Bliss assistants that can potentially come in. So you think you have the Umbreon, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay,
that's just
there's shielding, extra damage. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to bail. Oh, ZORATIGERS playing so defensively, so reactively. Does it just...
Actively reserved as well as another word I would use for it right now.
It's very competitive region right now.
Extremely safe game. Now, the benefit of that is it has been rather challenging to score on these tier 2s, something that Zeta Division likes to do a lot of the time. So, ZORATIGERS Gaming may have had a rough early game, taken a lot of points into their goal zones. However, if you can shore up your defenses, you can enable a moment in the late game team fight where a comeback can definitely happen. So now the time to batten down the hatches, but eventually you need to turn on the offense.
They should make a trip to Japan and play Japan solo queue.
Unfortunately, no defense or attack buffs. This would have been
Too bad this doesn't quite work. Like in League of Legends, there's sometimes players who go to like Korea to get to the highest rank in Korea as like an achievement. Too bad this doesn't quite work in Unite. Otherwise it would be fun.
They can't quite catch anything with the Woodhammer, unfortunately, and even a preemptive Unite being used
But too bad this doesn't quite work in Unite.
Really just to zone Zeta Division away. They don't
That'd be
get
cool
any
otherwise.
KOs, they don't latch on to anybody. It was just to stop the Eleki.
Yeah, and Zeta Division never done with a simple Unite move bait either. They rotate through the enemy central area, and that's a blue buff taken away onto their side.
Why not? Because what rank are you playing for? Master? Like,
into that Pokemon and stun them for a moment, and
I can get to Master in Japan playing from Germany. Like,
at this point of the map, two-thirds
what am I playing for? What am I ranking for?
Thanks to this Umbreon and the Mamoswine constantly roaming up and down the center of this area.
Looks like they have found Tomato, but unfortunately the Horn Leech just not going to connect. They have found the Umbreon instead, though. Blissey is there, has used the eggs. Bliss Assist as well.
Big team fight.
Forced to use the Dragon Current on
Gyarados.
Gyarados
has a huge Unite.
With the Dragon Current, but do they
I want to see Jack Button too.
Kokoda coming in with the foul play, connecting
Icona.
up to two. Is this where they time to shine? The Dragonite is down. 4 Pokemon caught.
Nice fight with ZORATIGERS.
Is this the time we see them come
Hey.
back?
Yeah,
I mean, like, again, Zeta Division's late game is awful, right? Like, they have literally no damage.
All tournament long. Not only that, avoiding getting KO'd themselves, with a few auto attacks in here and there to get that lifesteal that Gyarados has with those boosts. It's absolutely fantastic, keeping them around in these team fights. And when you're playing at a nice edge against Zeta Division, you gotta make clutch plays.
I mean, Dragonite is a carry, but yeah.
Call up by ZORATIGERS Gaming.
And more importantly, the levels are now in favor of ZORATIGERS.
Well, I guess Dragonite Espeon does fine damage, but you know what I mean, right?
Above level 12, they've passed the levels of Zeta Division, so now all of a
Reggie
sudden, you're going to be feeling much stronger.
Was Blast, you can see the bans. Blastoise was not banned, no.
You get ready for that Rayquaza because you're going to get your plus skills.
Exactly. Yeah, you're starting to get into those big plus moves that can really be game-changing for a few Pokemon in
So Tigers get a Registeel.
Going in the favor
with this, it could be
as well. So yet another attack buff to work with.
I just feel like Zeta Division is more synced up though in fights, but yeah, there's a chance.
Will help in that regard, but Zeta Division
and let the Regieleki walk in now and go mid. I mean, they have to be mid lane. They're up against Dragonite.
Why stop now?
Gotta get position.
You know, if you've been confident doing this in the early game, why not keep going? Their execution as a team is relatively unmatched. So if there's a team that can make a comeback happen at a level deficit, it is Zeta Division. But
honestly, I feel like it's quite difficult over Zeta Division. Like this late game, we talked about it in draft. It's not that crazy. Gyarados 13, Italion has a free time.
Will start tapping that Rayquaza. Always a danger when playing into a Dragonite couple. Kokada with a big
Espeon is a nice Unite though. But like, that's not enough. Now they have already no juice anymore.
That is Rom down to start this fight.
Espeon's already down. Dragonite has to fly out. Dragonite's 1 HP. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. We have a 3-game series. Yep.
Kokoda coming too late.
Oh man.
With the disengage. Rayquaza at the mercy.
Keep fighting too difficult with this in late game.
Wow.
Zoinks.
Like Espeon goes down, it's like Jova, right?
They somehow did
we get a third game.
Assuredly, that is what we are looking at. ZORATIGERS Gaming with an unbelievable Blaziken, a very
interesting final draft. We have a Pikachu. We have Metagross. I mean, Metagross not too wide, yes. Okay.
So
I don't know what I think is better. But Tomato has his Trevenant, so can Korea do it? Can they do it? Can they pull off? It would we call this an upset?
are getting so deep into this competition.
I think we still would call this an upset, I feel like.
All of Japan supporting them, but for ZORATIGERS, they have a lot to prove, and if they can actually win
Their division is definitely the favorite in this matchup, so by a good margin.
they currently are getting.
I mean, Korea is always hard to judge how good they really are.
With a nice staff score of 4, getting those attack weight stacks in. They do have to be pretty safe after they retreat back to their side. Chobo did go.
Yeah, no one's won against ZORATIGERS. Just saying.
Wild Pokemon, as well as taking the red buff.
But too bad they're out now.
What is this? Tomato
Still on day 3 notes done in 2 days.
He doesn't get it.
Not find that one, but is going to try to make the retreat happen.
He might go down here.
No, Koreans are also busy playing Valorant, no? Doesn't Korea play a lot of Valorant?
But no, too much damage.
As well, yeah, League and Valorant.
A little bit too strong, and with Leafy on here, maybe Rom
Oh.
could be in trouble. Caught back by that
Good
foul
stuff.
play, but again, the eject buttons. Gonna be able to keep Rom alive.
Yeah, that's a lot of early utility use, though. So the next push, they're going to have to play even safer than the one they are now. Eject button, one of the longest cooldowns of any of your battle items you could equip. Dong does get to the Citrus Berry. Eject button's away. They were pulled by a pretty
Hey, Wolf here? He Wolves. Oh, this could be bad now.
Already at level 6. Mule trying to bring the hurt, though, on the Leafeon. But
what is going on? Wait, what? They're turning this around? How?
Gyarados and now Wajiro and Kokata are
What? How did they turn this around?
Ward. What an early start from ZETA.
Oh, big
That's crazy. I don't understand how they just turned this around.
They were going to be able to get the retreatment punishes, but just too much damage, too much tank there from ZETA division. And now this is where things are going to start to get a little bit iffy because ZETA, they're not as weak as they used to be. Jong is here as that Gyarados, but as much as I want to say the Gyarados is going to be able to carry here, we're talking about Vitopa and Kokota. These guys can make a lot happen, especially when they're lacking resources.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's one of the biggest level deficits that Jong, I think, has had to work with in this top path so far. Just kind of playing catch up.
Almost 8 for Blaziken, almost.
Definitely almost a level behind as Kokata almost at that level 7. Jong waiting now at 720. We'll have another spawn of the Swablu Altaria, so yet another little objective to battle for, a few mini ones, if you will. And now Jong waiting for a specific target to find. I believe they do have eyes on Vidopo.
Oh, they saw Tomato.
It might be up to the Leafeon to get that first strike.
Overheat securing most of that, then, oh my gosh, they have to bounce backwards, but hang on a minute, they leave with the Emerald 2-step.
Suddenly just big team fights.
Aggressive one, but Tomato has been caught back. And
Oh my god, what's...
This mid-tang just going into the back, snapping up a berry, but that battle coming at the cost of 2 for 1. Not the trade you're looking for, but hang on a minute though, Rom is there with the slap shots, but it just didn't connect, unfortunately.
Yeah, ZETA division making a
Oh, so explosive, but maybe I'm also just like my brain is too tired. Everything looks faster than it actually is. That could also be it.
Around this tougher early game while you're waiting to scale, those held items that stack up with your scores will do you a world of favors. ZETA division does get the Regieleki though, and that's going to give them yet another asset to work on a Siege 1.
They don't have that attacker here. Sabina's still camping out
Blaze,
in
can
that
do
bottom
it.
lane
Just
as
dive.
that Pikachu, so missing out on one source of damage, but they should be able to
They go
take
for the
out this
Leafeon.
Aleki for themselves.
Ah, Leafeon's Unite again? Oh, okay.
Leafeon gets the Metangs. That's going to be a nice knockout, but also gets knocked out in the process. So
It's not a good trade, is it? But I guess he at least makes a 1-1-1 out of like bad scenario, I guess. Not sure. I don't even know why he's over there.
Yeah, a bit of a trade, but
why is he even there?
Knock out that Regieleki from going into your goal zone if you're ZORATIGERS Gaming. On the other hand, ZETA division able to take out a Leafeon. So I even trade between these two teams.
I mean, it's also going to get late in Hawaii, right? Like, it's already 5 PM there too. It's going to go on until like 9 PM maybe.
Oh my god.
That will be the KO onto Leafeon. So the speedster of ZORATIGERS Gaming gone already. Thunderstorm from Pikachu hitting a few targets, but Tomato is not going to go down from just that. Eject button out of the Thunder. Hornleech is back.
Oh, Gyarados. He has a huge Unite. Huge Unite.
Jong on this Gyarados doing
Korea is here.
major work for ZORATIGERS, going to continue advancing.
Oh, nice shield. Okay.
Good
steal.
Out and do damage, but
With the Gyarados.
He's been jumped on by the Gyarados. They want him so bad. They get him. Now onto that tier 2.
Oh boy.
A little deep.
ZORATIGERS Gaming with quite a push there. Yeah, you're right. Going to that tier 2 might be a little bit of a too far of a push, but Ward going to be camping out, potentially going to threaten 40 points in the back goal zone here in the tier 2. But the Inteleon is there. I believe that will be a stop. 40 points not going in.
Game looking pretty stable. Levels are looking a little lopsided, unfortunately. It's very even across Zeta Division, but ZORATIGERS got to get their supports and defenders to catch up a little bit because they are slightly behind. Thunderstorm, they're going to be committed because we have
just diving?
Metagross in the front line, losing a lot of health. Kokoda trying to build up all of that shielding, but it's just not enough.
And the Metagross Unite is terrible as well because his team can't even move into it.
Damage! Oh my gosh!
So strong, and it's not even equipping that cursed incense that we see on Pikachu quite a bit. So no.
I'm not sure what that was.
Instead, just opting
like they can't even walk in because the wall blocks his own teammates as well. They can't even like follow up on it.
More Unite moves.
As the Metagross Unite is so bad, like really is.
Amazing for ZORATIGERS Gaming right now. We have the Leafeon and the Umbreon top half. But now
boy!
Almost there. Gyarados looking for one. John will take out Wajiro, and ZORATIGERS Gaming have taken complete control of the momentum in this game number 3.
Yeah.
Massive lead, lots of experience, lots of points.
So I've kept playing the Blastoise, I guess.
ZORATIGERS, but how does Zeta Division make the comeback happen? They're not too far behind. They're not in that code red. They just have to try and figure out how do we pick apart ZORATIGERS? How do we get into the back lines to deal with Sabine? Because if you
this fight might
that Thunderstorm in the back lines, he just does so much damage that even Tomato is at risk of just being insta-KO'd.
These are all fair questions, but you only got 3 minutes and 30 seconds to answer them, Danley. Right now, it is ZORATIGERS Gaming kind of finding the key to success against Zeta Division up into this point. So much so, Zeta Division might have to abandon ship around this basement Reggie, an objective they've been playing around so much, but they're going in for a second shot at it now.
The stun coming out from the Pikachu prevented Zeta from having any of their initiators to jump right in. And
wait, what? Intellion's gone.
Wants nothing to do with it, just constantly stun left, right, and center. This Pikachu is a menace.
I mean, he's just getting Leafeons.
Dealing out the damage in the front line. It's also allowing Zhong to be a bit more mobile. Tomato's job on this Trevenant is normally to clear out space for the rest of their damage dealers to work, but right now they just have too many threats to try to take care of, and Zhong has finally found the way to weave around this Trevenant. The bounce is constantly hitting the back line, avoiding those tree stuns, and Zhong's Gyarados is on a whole nother level.
It's gonna be 14.
Zeta Division, I think they have to.
I mean, it's Inteleon, like, he suffers so much into Leafeon, but they picked it so early on.
Really gonna have to set things up, try to set up for those snipes. Rom needs to.
So I mean, Leafeon always looks so good when it's picked, so like, some games it's not picked at all, it's just completely ignored. And then suddenly it's first picked and is like taking over the game.
Chip them away until the point where you have more.
Sometimes I feel like teams don't even know themselves what they're supposed to do with which Pokemon, what they're supposed to pick.
So we have to see if we can have that happen, because at the moment, ZORATIGERS, as soon as a fight is about to happen, they just go. They don't let the picks happen.
Zeta Division doesn't have the defensive ability.
Yeah, maybe not everyone's comfortable on it. That's true.
Anymore, instead opting for the offensive option with this snipe shot from Inteleon instead. So they're going to have to play this one a bit more aggressively. Kokata checking every tall grass they can. Eventually they find
no, we've seen no Tyranitar. At least not on mainstream.
Now as they force Leafeon back towards the goal.
This is so difficult. The fact that Mule is there, he's already spotted Kokoda, so they can't even go for any stealth missions. They can't go for the backstabs. The vision game for ZORATIGERS.
Yo, Zeta Division, you're running out of time, my boys.
Kokata can find a few multiple targets. Let's not forget about Metagross's compute and crash unite move. Able to lock down a few targets, get a ton of shielding, and it works so well alongside the Blissey.
Look at the wraparound. We've got the Leafeon looking for the surprise.
Yeah, we do have
Leafeon is best flank.
They now have idea
can Blissey save Inteleon is the question.
Does land one big snipe shot, but they
Inteleon is
aware where that Leafeon is.
He spotted Rom. Leafeon's thinking about. They spotted him.
They spotted him out.
Been spotted. They know he's there. Blaziken having to play defense and protect Rom. Such a desperate situation. We do have a low Umbreon on the side of ZORATIGERS, and things are looking pretty desperate. But Zeta, they're right next to the Rayquaza.
It's so annoying. That permanent Leafeon behind them. It's so difficult for Inteleon to play.
They have to make the play call on the Rayquaza. At this point, they are just down by 200 points, but there's only 40 seconds remaining.
Oh, I was thinking now.
Let's
see if he eject button. Nice eject by Inteleon actually to dodge a bit, but then he still just, he just gets wiped.
Leafeon takes out the Blissey first. Wajiro down. Inteleon down. That is
ZORATIGERS Zeta Division.
Securing the Rayquaza.
Yeah, guys, Leafeon, eh? And Gyarados. Maria moves on. K-pop is going to win.
0-7
Tomato. 0-7.